Hello, my name is Hal McGee, eBay username Hal Tapes. I have been buying and selling on eBay since June 13th of 2000, and I have a 100% feedback rating. I've sold lots of musical gear on eBay, and all of my customers have been happy. I want you to be happy with this purchase as well. I urge you to take a look at some of the reviews and links that I have listed in the eBay auction. I want you to be fully informed about what it is you're buying before you buy it. And right now I'm going to take you on a tour of the Technosaurus Microcon II analog synthesizer. I bought this about maybe 4 years ago from Big City Music in California. I paid about $450 for it. It seems to be in really good condition. The main negative that I will point out to you right now is that a lot of the paint has rubbed off, especially around this trigger button there. There's also some paint missing on some of the letters here, like the O on VCO, and over here on the resonance, the O there. There's like a bad rub mark through the word cutoff right there. And there's a little paint rubbed off over here where it says CV1, gate and mute. A lot of this down in here, the paint in here seems to be in good shape, but over here there's been a lot of paint rubbed off around the LFO. And this square wave symbol here, and also where you pick your MIDI channel here, that seems to be rubbed off, as well as this tune knob here. The word tune is gone there. So I wanted to point that out to you. Also, the minus 2 octave symbol there is kind of rubbed off. So I want to point that out to you. If you're looking for a Technosaurus Microcon II that is in pristine cosmetic condition, this is not it. Okay, so don't bid on this if you're looking for something that looks like it's new. This looks like it's been used, and indeed it has. I still think that it is in great condition. And I make some good sounds. You just got to work with it a little bit. So you can see some of the paint is rubbed off here where on the C of Microcon, the first C. I have this hooked up to a MIDI keyboard, a rather large one at that, but that's just a basic tone there. You can also get sounds by pushing the red trigger button. Now that, like I said, that's why a lot of this paint is rubbed off, as I used the red trigger button quite a lot. I mean, the MIDI keyboard I have is rather large, and it just seems kind of silly to have a big MIDI keyboard hooked up to this thing all the time. So I have used the red trigger button quite a lot. You have a glide control here so that when you play the keyboard, it'll glide between the notes. Set the amount of glide there. And as I said, this is your tuning knob there. The Technosaurus Microcon is a one oscillator synthesizer. You can choose between a square wave or sawtooth. There's a switch there that says waves. But you can also mix in a sub oscillator. And you've got a mix knob here. This is just the VCO, the voltage controlled oscillator, and then you can turn it all the way over to the sub-os. See that? And then you've got a mix there right in the center. You can set the voltage controlled oscillator down 2 octaves. Here it is at normal. Switch down. Now the voltage controlled oscillator is modulated by a low frequency oscillator, LFO, and the LFO has 2 wave shapes that you can choose from, square or triangle. You can this knob here, LFO mod, determines how much the LFO modulates the VCO. When it's down here, you can't hear much of anything, but if we turn this up, and then there's a speed knob for the LFO. You can change the speed of the trills. There it is on square wave. We'll put it over on triangle. It's the speed knob there. And so on and so forth. Now, this Technosaurus Microcon II has an envelope generator. You've got an attack knob. You've got a release on or off switch, decay. Now I've got this set over on gate, so you really can't hear any of that yet. But if you switch it over to AD, you can there's a long attack, and let's see. Here's a short. Now the release is on. If I turn it off, as soon as I release my finger, it stops. The decay here. This has a voltage controlled filter with resonance and cutoff, and you can choose the 24 decibel setting or 12 decibel. We've got a control voltage on-off switch, and you've got a couple of knobs here which affect how much the LFO modulates the VCF and how much the envelope affects it as well. This is a resonant filter. You can kind of turn that up, especially over here in the gate. It seems to. And then over on the 12. It's got a good firm sound, good full sound there. When you turn the cutoff all the way up and the resonance down to, in this range here. Like I told you earlier, we've got the AD, attack decay switch or gate switch. You've got a VCA level knob which controls the volume pretty much. Now, you've got a couple other features over here which I have never made use of. You've got CV1 and CV2 out, and you can control other analog devices with that. It kind of takes like a stereo pin jack though to be able to do it. And then you've got gate out. You can plug an 1/8" plug in here to mute. We've got the out jack here. Now these knobs feel real good. These are rubberized. They have a real nice feeling to them, so you can really get in there and tweak those knobs nicely. The other thing I want to mention before I finish here is I do have the original box that the Microcon II came in, and it's got some nice foam padding in there. Now the box is a little beaten up. It's not in the greatest shape, but I will put the Microcon II inside this box and then put that inside another box before I ship it. For those of you who want to do a little bit noisier music with this or get a little more oomph out of it, you may want to put like a distortion or some kind of device with gain after it. Right now I have this running through a small Marshall amplifier that I have up here on the tabletop, and sounds pretty good. Anyway, I hope that some of you out there will be interested in the Technosaurus Microcon II that I am selling. These are no longer made, and from what I gather, they're not going to make them ever again. Now, I don't know that, but they're not being made. This is your chance to snap up a rare analog synthesizer. This is fully analog. It's the Technosaurus Microcon II analog synthesizer. Thank you very much.